The white hospital ship moved slowly through space. Its name was HM Sanctuary, and red crosses covered its hull. These crosses told everyone that this was a medical ship. It carried sick and hurt people, not weapons or soldiers ready to fight. Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge and watched the stars. He was 45 years old and had been flying ships for 20 years. His hair was turning gray, but his eyes were still sharp. He loved his job because he helped save lives instead of taking them. The ship was huge. It had 800 patients inside and 200 crew members. Most of the patients were hurt in the recent war between humans and aliens. Some were human soldiers with missing arms or legs. Others were alien civilians who got caught in the fighting. The ship's doctors treated everyone the same. Dr. Lisa Hamilton walked through the medical bay. She was the chief doctor on the ship. Her white coat was clean, and her blonde hair was pulled back in a neat style. She checked on her patients, one by one. In bed 12, a young human soldier named Pete was learning to use his new artificial leg. In bed 15, an alien child with blue skin was recovering from surgery. "How are you feeling today, Pete?" Dr. Hamilton asked the soldier. "Better, Doc." "This new leg is pretty amazing," Pete said with a smile. "When can I go home?" "Soon, maybe." "Next week," she told him. Dr. Hamilton had been a doctor for 15 years. She had seen many wars and many hurt people, but she never got tired of helping them get better. Dr. Kevin Taylor was the youngest doctor on the ship. He was only 28 years old, but he was very skilled at surgery. He had just finished operating on a badly hurt alien woman. The operation took 6 hours, but he saved her life. "Good work, Kevin," Dr. Hamilton said as she reviewed his patient files. "You're getting better every day." Kevin smiled. He was proud to work on the hospital ship. His family back on Earth thought he was crazy for working in space, but he loved it. Every day brought new challenges and new chances to help people. Commander Beth Rogers was the head nurse. She was 50 years old and had worked on hospital ships for 25 years. She knew every corner of the ship and every patient by name. The younger nurses looked up to her because she was so experienced and kind. "Commander Rogers," called out Nurse Amy from across the room. "The alien patient in room 7 is asking for you." Beth walked over to room 7. Inside was a tall alien with gray skin and forearms. His name was Zektal, and he was a traitor who got hurt when pirates attacked his ship. The pirates had shot him in the chest, but the human doctors fixed him up. "Thank you," Zektal said in broken English. "You saved my life. My people will remember this kindness." Beth smiled. "That's what we're here for. We help everyone, no matter where they come from." This was the rule on all human hospital ships. They followed the Galactic Medical Accords, which said that medical ships could not be attacked. In return, they had to help anyone who needed medical care. It didn't matter if they were human or alien, friend or enemy. Captain Morrison got a message from the ship's computer. They were getting close to the neutral zone boundary. This was a safe area where no fighting was allowed. Many hospital ships traveled through here because it was peaceful. "Navigation, keep us on course," Captain Morrison ordered. "Communications, send out our medical ship signal every 10 minutes. The communications officer, Lieutenant Dan Cooper, nodded. "Yes, sir. Broadcasting medical ship status now." The ship's medical signal told other ships that the HMS Sanctuary was a hospital ship. It was protected by galactic law. Any ship that attacked it would be hunted down and punished by all the space. GOVERNMENTS. Dr. Hamilton finished her rounds and went to the cafeteria. She sat with Dr. Taylor and some of the nurses. They talked about their patients and their families back home. "I got a letter from my mom yesterday," Dr. Taylor said. She's worried about me working so close to the war zone. Mothers always worry, Beth said. But we're safe here. Hospital ships are protected. No one would be stupid enough to attack. U.S. Dr. Hamilton nodded. The medical accords have kept hospital ships safe for over 100 years. We're probably the safest ship in this whole sector. They finished their meal and went back to work. The ship was always busy. There were always patients to check on, medicines to give out, and surgeries to perform. But everyone on the ship loved their work. They were saving lives and making the galaxy a better place. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Bob Clark made sure everything was working perfectly. The ship's engines were not very powerful because they didn't need to be fast. They just needed to be reliable. Bob had been fixing engines for 30 years, and he was very good at his job. The ship's security team was small. They only had 12 security officers, led by Security Chief Mark Johnson. They were not there to fight wars. They were there to keep order on the ship and protect the patients. Their weapons were small and only for emergencies. Captain Morrison looked at the long-range sensors. Everything looked normal. A few trading ships were moving through the area, but nothing dangerous. The nearest military ships were 3 days away. All systems normal, Captain, reported the sensor operator. No threats detected. Good. Maintain course and speed, Captain Morrison said. The HMS Sanctuary continued its journey through space. Everyone on board felt safe and happy. They were doing important work, helping people who needed them most. The war was far away, and they were protected by galactic law. But unknown to them, something was watching from the darkness of space. Something that didn't care about laws or medical accords. Something that saw the hospital ship not as a place of healing, but as an easy target full of valuable supplies and helpless victims. The peaceful journey of the HMS Sanctuary was about to come to a terrible end. The alarm bells rang through the HMS Sanctuary. Captain Morrison rushed to the bridge as red lights flashed everywhere. Lieutenant Cooper was trying to contact the approaching ships, but no one answered. Captain, we have 5 ships coming at U.S. fast, said the sensor operator. They're not responding to our medical ship signals. Captain Morrison looked at the screen. The ships were black and covered with sharp edges. They looked like weapons instead of normal spacecraft. These were pirate ships, and they were heading straight for the hospital ship. Send out the emergency signal, Captain Morrison ordered. Tell them we are a protected medical vessel. We have patients on board. Lieutenant Cooper sent the message over and over. Unknown ships, this is the HMS Sanctuary. We are a hospital ship protected by galactic law. We have wounded patients and medical staff only. Please respond. The black ships kept coming. They were much faster than the hospital ship. Captain Morrison knew they couldn't run away. The hospital ship was too slow and had no weapons to fight back. All hands, prepare for boarding, Captain Morrison announced over the ship's speakers. Medical staff, stay with your patients. Security teams, protect the medical bays. Dr. Hamilton heard the announcement in the main medical bay. She looked at her patients. Many of them were too hurt to move. Some were still unconscious from surgery. She couldn't leave them. Don't worry, she told Pete, the soldier with the artificial leg. We're a medical ship. They can't hurt us. It's against the law. But Pete had been in the war. He knew that pirates didn't care about laws. Doc, you need to hide. These aren't normal people. The first pirate ship attached itself to the hospital ship's hull. Metal-cutting sounds echoed through the corridors. The pirates were burning through the walls to get inside. Security Chief Johnson gathered his 12 men near the main entrance. They had small weapons, but they were trained to keep peace, not fight wars. Johnson knew they were not prepared for this. Remember, we protect the patients first, Johnson told his men. Don't let them get to the medical bays. The pirates broke through the hull in 3 different places. They poured into the ship like angry insects. They were different types of aliens, but they all looked mean and dangerous. Their leader was a tall creature with scales and sharp teeth. His name was Krekthar, and he was known across the galaxy for his cruelty. The pirates had powerful weapons that shot energy beams. Johnson and his men tried to stop them, but their small guns were useless. The pirates cut down the security team in minutes. "Surrender, humans," Krekthar said in a rough voice. "Give us your medical supplies and your ship. We might let some of you live." Captain Morrison spoke over the ship's communication system. "This is Captain Morrison. We are a protected medical vessel. Attacking us is a war crime. You will be hunted down by every government in the galaxy." Krekthar laughed. "Your laws mean nothing to us. We take what we want." Dr. Taylor was in the surgery room when the pirates broke in. He was operating on an alien patient when 3 pirates entered. They looked at the patient on the table and then at Dr. Taylor. "Please," Dr. Taylor said, "I'm trying to save this person's life. Give me 5 more minutes." The pirates didn't care. They shot both, Dr. Taylor and his patient. The young doctor fell to the floor, his dream of helping people ending in blood. Commander Rogers was in the children's ward when she heard the shooting. She had 20 young patients, both human and alien children. Some were crying, others were too scared to make any sound. "Stay quiet," Rogers whispered to the children. "Hide under your beds." But the pirates found the children's ward. They entered with their weapons ready. Rogers stood in front of the children's beds. "These are just children," she said. "They're hurt and scared. Please don't hurt them." The pirates didn't listen. They saw the children as future slaves or just problems to get rid of. Rogers died trying to protect the children she loved. The children's screams filled the hallway. Dr. Hamilton was still in the main medical bay when the pirates arrived. She had stayed with her patients, just like she promised. Many of the patients couldn't move because of their injuries. "Please," Dr. Hamilton said to the pirates, "these people are hurt. They need medical care. I'm a doctor. I can help. You're wounded, too." But the pirates weren't interested in help. They wanted the valuable medical supplies and equipment. The patients were just in their way. Zektal, the alien trader who had thanked the humans for saving his life, tried to protect Dr. Hamilton. Even though he was still hurt, he got out of his bed and stood next to her. "She saved my life," Zektal said in his broken English. "You cannot hurt her." The pirates shot both Zektal and Dr. Hamilton. The doctor who had dedicated her life to helping others died next to the alien patient she had saved. Throughout the ship, the same scene played out over and over. The pirates showed no mercy to anyone. They killed patients in their beds, doctors trying to help, and nurses caring for the wounded. It didn't matter if they were human or alien. Everyone died. Captain Morrison made his last stand on the bridge. He and his remaining crew members tried to fight back, but they only had emergency weapons. The pirates were too strong and too many. "Send out the distress beacon," Captain Morrison ordered Lieutenant Cooper. "Tell them what happened here. Tell them who did this." Cooper sent out the emergency signal just before the pirates broke onto the bridge. The message went out into space, carrying the ship's location and the images of the attack. Captain Morrison faced Krekthar in his final moments. "You've made a terrible mistake. Humans don't forget when innocent people are murdered. We will find you." Krekthar killed Captain Morrison with a single shot. "Your threats mean nothing. Soon your whole species will serve us or die." The massacre took 2 hours. When it was over, all 800 patients and 200 crew members were dead. The pirates took everything valuable they could find. Medical equipment, medicines, and anything they could sell or use. Chief Engineer Clark had tried to hide in the engine room, but the pirates found him too. They killed him after he refused to help them steal the ship's technology. The pirates left the HMS Sanctuary drifting in space. It was now a tomb, filled with the bodies of people who had only wanted to help others. The white ship with red crosses had become a symbol of the pirates' cruelty. Before they left, Krekthar made a recording. He wanted other humans to see what happened when they got in his way. The recording showed the dead patients and the destroyed medical equipment. "Let this be a warning to all humans," Krekthar said in the recording. "You are weak. Your laws cannot protect you. Submit to us, or share the fate of these fools." The pirate ships left the HMS Sanctuary behind and disappeared into space. They thought they had won an easy victory. They had valuable medical supplies and had shown the galaxy that human hospital ships could be attacked without consequence. But they were wrong. The distress signal had been sent. Soon someone would find the HMS Sanctuary and see what the pirates had done. And when that happened, the pirates would learn that attacking innocent humans was the biggest mistake of their lives. The galaxy was about to discover that humans could be kind and caring healers, but they could also be the most dangerous enemies when their compassion was met with cruelty. 3 days after the attack, the human destroyer USS Vengeance received the distress signal. Captain Ryan Mitchell was 42 years old and had been fighting pirates and enemy fleets for 15 years. He was known throughout the human fleet as a tough but fair commander. "Sir, we're getting an emergency beacon from the HMS Sanctuary," reported Communications Officer Julie Martinez. "It's a medical ship distress signal." Captain Mitchell looked at the signal on his screen. Medical. Ship distress calls were always given top priority. Hospital ships were precious to humanity because they saved so many lives. "Set course for the signal immediately," Captain Mitchell ordered. "Maximum speed." The USS Vengeance was a powerful warship. It had strong shields, heavy weapons, and a crew of 300 trained fighters. Captain Mitchell hoped they would arrive in time to help the hospital ship. Lieutenant Commander Scott Adams was the ship's security chief. He was preparing his security teams to help with rescue operations. Scott had worked on hospital ships before joining the military, so he knew how important they were. "Get the medical teams ready," Captain Mitchell told Scott. "We might have wounded people to treat." Dr. Patricia Wells was the ship's doctor. She gathered her medical supplies and prepared to treat injured patients. She had heard about Dr. Hamilton's work and respected her greatly. Patricia hoped her fellow doctor was still alive. The USS Vengeance reached the HMS Sanctuary's location 12 hours later. What they found made everyone on the bridge go silent. The white hospital ship was floating, dead in space. Its hull was damaged, and no lights were on inside. "Sir, I'm not detecting any life signs," reported Sensor Officer Gary Brown. "The ship appears to be completely dead." Captain Mitchell felt a cold fear in his stomach. Hospital ships were never completely dead unless something terrible had happened. "Scan for other ships in the area." "No other vessels detected, sir." "Whatever happened here, the attackers are long gone." Captain Mitchell ordered his ship to dock with the hospital ship. He put on his spacesuit and led the first team inside. Lieutenant Commander Adams came with him, along with 12 security officers and Dr. Wells. The airlock opened with a hiss. The inside of the hospital ship was dark and silent. Their helmet lights cut through the darkness as they moved forward. The first thing they saw was blood on the walls. "My God," whispered Dr. Wells. "What happened here?" They moved deeper into the ship. In the main corridor, they found the bodies of Security Chief Johnson and his men. They had been shot down while trying to defend the ship. Their small weapons were still in their hands. They tried to fight, Scott said quietly, but they were outgunned. Captain Mitchell felt anger building inside him. Hospital ships weren't supposed to be attacked. They were protected by every law in the galaxy. Whoever did this had broken the most sacred rule of space warfare. They reached the main medical bay. The sight that greeted them was beyond horrible. Patients were dead in their beds. Some had been shot while sleeping. Others had been killed while trying to hide. Dr. Hamilton's body was found next to Zeke Tile, the alien traitor. Both had died. Trying to protect each other, Dr. Wells started crying when she saw the children's ward. 20 young patients, both human and alien, had been murdered in their beds. Commander Rogers had died trying to shield them with her own body. These were just children, Dr. Wells said through her tears. They were hurt and helpless. How could anyone do this? Captain Mitchell walked through the entire ship. Every room told the same story. The pirates had shown no mercy to anyone. Doctors, nurses, patients, and crew members were all dead. All 800 patients and 200 crew members had been killed in the surgery room. They found Dr. Taylor's body next to his patient. The young doctor had been operating when the pirates burst in. He had died trying to save a life. "Sir," called out Technical Officer Linda Clark, "the ship's computer is still working. It might have recorded what happened." Captain Mitchell and his team went to the computer room. The ship's artificial intelligence was damaged, but still functional. It had recorded everything that happened during the attack. "Show us what happened," Captain Mitchell ordered the computer. The screen came to life. They watched as the pirate ships approached the hospital ship. They saw Captain Morrison trying to contact the attackers. They heard him explaining that this was a protected medical vessel. The recording showed the pirates breaking into the ship. The team from the USS Vengeance watched in horror as the pirates killed everyone they found. They saw Dr. Hamilton trying to protect her patients. They saw Commander Rogers standing in front of the children. They saw Captain Morrison's final stand on the bridge. "Freeze that image," Captain Mitchell said when he saw Krekthar's face. "Can you identify this alien?" The computer searched its database. "This is Krekthar, leader of the Crimson Talon Pirates. He is wanted for 17 attacks on civilian ships. Reward, 2 million credits." Captain Mitchell studied Krekthar's face. He wanted to remember every detail of the creature who had ordered this massacre. What else do we know about him? Krekthar operates in the Outer Rim systems. His fleet consists of approximately 12 ships. He is known for extreme cruelty and never taking prisoners. Scott found more evidence in the ship's records. The pirates had stolen all the medical supplies and equipment. They had also taken personal items from the crew members, including family photos and letters from home. They didn't just kill them, Scott said angrily. They robbed them too. They took everything. Captain Mitchell made copies of all the evidence. The video recordings, the computer files, and the medical records would be sent to Alliance Command. Everyone needed to see what had happened to the HMS Sanctuary. Dr. Wells finished examining the bodies. "Captain, from the wounds and the positions of the bodies, I can tell you that many of these people were shot while trying to help others. The doctors and nurses died protecting their patients." "What about the patients themselves?" Captain Mitchell asked. "Many of them were too injured to move. They were completely helpless. Some were unconscious and probably didn't even know what was happening." Captain Mitchell felt his anger growing stronger. These weren't soldiers or fighters. They were sick and hurt people who needed help. The pirates had killed them like animals. The team spent 6 hours collecting evidence and documenting everything. They took pictures of every room and every body. They wanted to make sure the galaxy knew exactly what had happened to the HMS Sanctuary. Before leaving, Captain Mitchell stood in the ship's bridge where Captain Morrison had died. He looked at the captain's chair and made a silent promise. "We will find the ones who did this. We will make them pay." The USS Vengeance left the hospital ship and headed back to Alliance Command. Captain Mitchell sent a priority message to Admiral Frank Collins, the head of the human fleet. The message contained all the evidence they had collected. Admiral Collins was 60 years old and had been commanding human fleets for 25 years. He had seen many battles, and many terrible things, but nothing had prepared him for the recordings from the HMS Sanctuary. "How many dead?" Admiral Collins asked when Captain Mitchell reported to him. 1,000 people, sir. 800 patients and 200 crew members. No survivors. Admiral Collins watched the video recordings of the attack. He saw the pirates killing helpless patients and dedicated medical staff. He saw them laughing as they destroyed everything the humans had built. "This is not just piracy," Admiral Collins said. "This is a declaration of war against everything we stand for. These creatures have shown us that they have no respect for human life or galactic law." The Admiral called an emergency meeting of all fleet commanders. The news of the hospital ship massacre spread quickly through the human military. Captains who had never met Dr. Hamilton or Captain Morrison felt like they had lost personal friends. "We're going to hunt down every pirate involved in this attack," Admiral Collins announced. "We're going to show the galaxy that attacking innocent humans carries a price. Operation Retribution begins now." Captain Mitchell was chosen to lead the hunt for Krek-Thar and his pirates. The USS Vengeance would be joined by 4 other destroyers and 2 heavy cruisers. It would have the best weapons and the most experienced crews in the human fleet. The news of the massacre reached Earth and the human colonies. People were shocked and angry. The HMS Sanctuary had been a symbol of human compassion. Its destruction was an attack on human values. Families of the dead crew members held memorial services. Pete's family, the soldier with the artificial leg, mourned the doctor who had helped him walk again. Zektal's people sent a message thanking the humans for trying to save their trader and promising to help hunt down the pirates. The galaxy was about to learn that humans could be peaceful healers, but they could also be the most dangerous hunters. When their compassion was met with cruelty, the pirates had made the biggest mistake of their lives when they attacked the HMS Sanctuary. Captain Mitchell's task force left human space 1 week after finding the HMS Sanctuary. The fleet consisted of 7 powerful warships, each loaded with the best weapons and most skilled crews in the human navy. Their mission was simple: find Krek-Thar and his pirates, then destroy them completely. The USS Vengeance led the fleet. Following behind were 4 other destroyers: the USS Thunder, USS Lightning, USS Storm, and USS Fury, 2 heavy cruisers, the USS Justice and USS Retribution, provided extra firepower. Admiral Collins had given them the best ships available. Lieutenant Sarah Brooks was the intelligence officer on the USS Vengeance. She was 29 years old and had graduated top of her class from the Intelligence Academy. Her job was to track down the pirates using any clue they could find. "Captain, I've analyzed the attack patterns from the hospital ship," Sarah reported. "The pirates used Zephyrian energy weapons and Kalthari boarding equipment. This tells us they've been raiding ships from both species." Commander Nick Parker was the tactical officer. He was 35 years old and had fought in 12 major battles. He was already planning how to attack the pirates when they found them. "Sir, I've studied their ship designs from the security footage," Nick said. "Their ships are fast but lightly armored. If we can corner them, our heavy weapons will tear them apart." The task force began following the pirates' trail. They visited 3 star systems where merchant ships had been attacked in the past month. At each location, they found the same pattern: ships destroyed, crews killed, and cargo stolen. At the Rigel trading post, they met Captain Alina Vasquez, a merchant ship captain who had survived a pirate attack. She was 40 years old and had been trading in space for 15 years. Her ship had been badly damaged, but she had escaped. They came out of nowhere, Elena told Captain Mitchell. 5 black ships, just like in your pictures. They demanded we surrender our cargo. When we tried to run, they shot out our engines. How did you escape? Captain Mitchell asked. We dumped our cargo pods and played dead. They took the cargo and left. We were lucky they didn't board us. I heard what they did to the hospital ship. Those weren't normal pirates. They were monsters. At the Centauri mining station, they found more evidence. The pirates had attacked a convoy of ore haulers 2 weeks ago. Station manager Carl Thompson showed them the wreckage. They didn't just steal the ore, Carl said. They killed everyone, even the ship's cats. What kind of beings kill helpless animals? Lieutenant Brooks analyzed the attack patterns. Captain, they're moving in a spiral pattern through the outer rim systems. Based on their timing and fuel consumption, I think I know where they're going next. The task force moved to the Vega system, where Brooks predicted the next attack would happen. They were right. When they arrived, they found the burned wreckage of 2 passenger ships. The pirates had struck just 6 hours earlier. We're getting closer, Captain Mitchell told his crew. They can't stay ahead of us forever. The human ships were faster and had better sensors than the pirates expected. The pirates were used to fighting slow merchant ships and weak security forces. They had never faced a determined human military fleet. At the wreckage site, they found a badly damaged escape pod. Inside was a wounded alien trader named Gekmer. Dr. Wells treated his injuries while Captain Mitchell questioned him. The pirates. They took prisoners this time, Gekmer said weakly. They said they needed slaves for their base. They took 50 people, including children. This news made everyone on the task force angry. The pirates weren't just killing people anymore. They were taking slaves. Captain Mitchell knew they had to move faster. Did you see which direction they went? Captain Mitchell asked. Toward the Kepler Nebula, Gekmer replied. They said something about going home. The Kepler Nebula was a dangerous area of space filled with radiation and asteroid fields. It was the perfect place for pirates to hide their base. Many criminal organizations used the nebula as a safe haven. Lieutenant Brooks worked around the clock to analyze the nebula. She studied trade routes, sensor readings, and old exploration reports. Slowly, she began to narrow down where the pirates might be hiding. Captain, I think I found them, Sarah said after 3 days of searching. There's an asteroid station called Kethmoran deep in the nebula. It's been abandoned for 10 years, but recent sensor readings show ships moving in and out. Commander Parker studied the tactical situation. The nebula will mess with our sensors and communications. It's going to be a tough fight. We've faced worse, Captain Mitchell said. What's our plan? We go in fast and hard. The cruisers provide heavy firepower while the destroyers hunt down any ships trying to escape. We don't let a single pirate get away. The task force entered the Kepler Nebula. The colorful gas clouds looked beautiful, but they were deadly. The radiation could kill unprotected humans in minutes. The asteroids could crush a ship if the pilot wasn't careful. All ships maintain formation, Captain Mitchell ordered. Watch for asteroid fields and radiation storms. As they moved deeper into the nebula, their sensors started detecting ship movements. The pirates had scouts watching for intruders. A small pirate ship tried to escape and warn the base, but the USS Thunder destroyed it before it could send a message. One down, reported Captain Johnson of the USS Thunder. No survivors. The task force continued toward the asteroid station. They could see it on their long-range sensors now. It was huge, carved out of a massive asteroid. Dozens of pirate ships. or docked around it. "My God," whispered Commander Parker. "That's not just a base. That's a fortress." The station had weapons platforms and shield generators. It was protected by 43 pirate ships of various sizes. The pirates had built themselves a powerful stronghold in the nebula. "Sir, I'm detecting the energy signatures of the ships that attacked the hospital ship," reported the sensor operator. "They're here." Captain Mitchell felt satisfaction and rage at the same time. After weeks of hunting, they had found the murderers of the HMS Sanctuary. Now it was time for justice. "All ships, prepare for battle," Captain Mitchell ordered. "Remember what they did to those innocent people. Remember the children in the hospital ward. Show them the same mercy they showed our people." The task force moved into attack position. The pirates had noticed them now and were scrambling to defend their base. Alarms were ringing throughout the asteroid station as pirates ran to their ships. Krekthar was in his command center when the human ships were detected. He looked at the tactical display and saw 7 powerful warships approaching. He had never seen human military ships this close before. "How many humans?" Krekthar asked his subordinate. 7 ships, Commander. They look like military vessels. Heavy weapons and armor." Krekthar laughed. "Only 7 ships? We have 43. We will crush them easily." But Krekthar didn't understand humans. He thought they were weak because their hospital ships had no weapons. He didn't know that human warships were the most advanced in the galaxy. He was about to learn the difference between human healers and human warriors. "Launch all fighters," Krekthar ordered. "Destroy the human ships. Show them what happens when they challenge the Crimson Talon pirates. The battle is about to begin." The pirates had numbers on their side, but the humans had something more powerful, the fury of a species that had seen their most innocent people murdered by cowards. The pirates were about to discover that attacking a human hospital ship was the worst mistake they could have made. The human fleet approached the asteroid base like a pack of wolves surrounding their prey. Admiral Collins had joined the task force aboard the USS Retribution, bringing additional firepower and 2,000 Marines. The message to the pirates was clear: surrender or die. Open a channel to the pirate base. Admiral Collins ordered from the bridge of the USS Retribution. He was 60 years old, but his voice still carried the authority of someone who had commanded fleets for decades. Communication screen flickered to life, showing Krekthar's scaled face. A pirate leader was sitting in his command chair, surrounded by his officers. He looked confident, almost amused by the human fleet. "I am Admiral Collins of the Human Alliance," the admiral said in a cold voice. "You attacked and destroyed the HMS Sanctuary, a protected medical vessel. You murdered 1,000 innocent people, including children. Surrender now, and you will receive a fair trial. Resist, and you will be destroyed." Krekthar's laugh echoed across the communication channel. "You humans are pathetic. You send hospital ships with no weapons, and now you think 7 warships can defeat my entire fleet? I have 43 ships and this fortress. You are greatly outnumbered." "Numbers don't matter," Admiral Collins replied. "You made one mistake. You attacked innocent people under human protection. That is something we never forgive." "Your mercy made you weak," Krekthar sneered. That medical ship was full of valuable supplies and helpless prey. It was easy to take. Just like your people will be easy to kill. Admiral Collins closed the communication channel. "All ships, weapons free. Show them what human mercy looks like when it's been exhausted." The battle began with a coordinated strike from all 7 human ships. The USS Justice and USS Retribution fired their heavy plasma cannons at the asteroid base's shield generators. The 5 destroyers launched torpedo spreads at the pirate ship's dock. The difference in technology was immediately obvious. Human weapons were more accurate and more powerful than anything the pirates had. The first volley destroyed 8 pirate ships and damaged the base's outer defenses. Impossible, Krekthar muttered as he watched his ships explode. How can they be so strong? The pirates fought back with everything they had. Their ships swarmed around the human fleet like angry insects. But their weapons barely scratched the human ships' shields. The pirates had spent years attacking defenseless merchants and civilians. They had never faced a real military force. Captain Mitchell commanded the USS Vengeance like a master swordsman. His ship danced through the asteroid field, destroying pirate ships with precise shots. Lieutenant Brooks fed him tactical information, while Commander Parker coordinated the weapons. 3 pirate ships trying to escape through the nebula, Sarah reported. They're carrying stolen cargo. Not today, Captain Mitchell said grimly. All ships, no one leaves this system alive. The USS Thunder and USS Lightning pursued the fleeing pirates. The human ships were faster and caught up quickly. The pirates' ships were destroyed before they could escape the nebula. Admiral Collins watched the battle from his command chair. His ships were winning easily, but he felt no joy. He thought about Dr. Hamilton and Captain Morrison, about the children in the hospital ward, about all the innocent people who had died. Sir, the base's main shield is down, reported the weapons officer. We can target their command center. Not yet, Admiral Collins said. I want them to see their entire fleet destroyed first. I want them to know they're going to die. The pirate ships kept exploding around the asteroid base. Human torpedoes found their targets with deadly accuracy. Human energy beams cut through. Pirate hulls like knives through paper. In 30 minutes, the pirates had lost half their fleet. Krekthar was panicking now. His confident smile was gone. He watched his ships die one by one on his tactical display. The humans were fighting like demons, showing no mercy at all. Commander, we should surrender, said one of his officers. Maybe they will spare us. No, Krekthar snarled. We fight to the end. Launch the assault shuttles. Board their ships. We'll kill them hand to hand. 20 pirate shuttles launched from the base, trying to board the human ships. But the human point defense systems destroyed most of them before they got close. The few that survived were met by Marine boarding parties led by Colonel Dan Lewis. Colonel Lewis was 45 years old and had fought in ground battles across the galaxy. He was known for his tactical skills and his fierce loyalty to his men. When he heard about the hospital ship massacre, he had volunteered to lead the boarding actions personally. Remember what they did to our people, Colonel Lewis told his Marines over the radio. These are not prisoners of war. They are murderers who killed children in their beds. The Marine boarding parties fought through the pirate shuttles with cold efficiency. The pirates were savage fighters, but they were not disciplined soldiers. The Marines cut them down with precise weapons fire and coordinated tactics. On the USS Vengeance, a pirate boarding party made it to the main corridor. Captain Mitchell grabbed a rifle and joined his security teams in defending his ship. He thought about Captain Morrison, who had died defending his medical ship. They killed innocent people, Captain Mitchell said as he fired at the pirates. They don't deserve to live. The pirates were wiped out in the corridors of the human ships. Not one boarding attempt succeeded. The pirates had expected to fight soft merchants or peaceful doctors. Instead, they faced trained human warriors who fought with the fury of the righteous. The space battle continued around the asteroid base. The pirate fleet was being systematically destroyed. Ships that tried to run were hunted down. Ships that tried to fight were blown apart. Ships that tried to hide behind asteroids were found and eliminated. 37 pirate ships destroyed, reported Commander Parker. 6 remaining, plus the base. Keep firing, Captain Mitchell ordered. Don't stop until they're all dead. The USS Storm cornered 3 pirate ships behind a large asteroid. Captain Williams, who commanded the Storm, had lost a friend on the HMS Sanctuary. He showed the pirates the same mercy they had shown the hospital ship. For Dr. Hamilton, Captain Williams said as his ship destroyed the hiding pirates, the battle was turning into a massacre, but no one in the human fleet felt sorry for the pirates. They remembered the video recordings from the hospital ship. They remembered the children who had died. They remembered the doctors and nurses who had been murdered while trying to help people. Crek-Thar's base was now surrounded by the wreckage of his fleet. Only his command ship and 2 escorts remained. The asteroid fortress was badly damaged, its weapons offline and its shields failing. All pirate ships destroyed except the command vessel, reported the tactical officer to Admiral Collins. The base is defenseless. Good, Admiral Collins said. Now we finish this. All ships target the base. I want it completely destroyed. The 7 human ships opened fire on the asteroid base at the same time. Plasma beams and torpedo explosions lit up the nebula like a new star. The base's armor cracked and melted under the assault. Internal explosions rocked the structure as life support systems failed. Crek-Thar tried to escape in his personal command ship. It was fast and well armed, the best ship in his fleet. But he couldn't outrun 7 human warships. The USS Vengeance caught up with him first. This is for the HMS Sanctuary, Captain Mitchell said as he gave the order to fire. But Admiral Collins stopped him. Wait, take him alive. I want him to stand trial for what he did. The human ships disabled Crek-Thar's ship without destroying it. Marines boarded and captured the pirate leader along with his surviving crew. They would face justice for their crimes. The asteroid base was completely destroyed. Nothing remained but floating debris and the bodies of pirates who had chosen to fight rather than surrender. The Crimson Talon pirates had been wiped out completely. Admiral Collins surveyed the battlefield. 43 pirate ships destroyed. 1 pirate base eliminated. Hundreds of pirates dead. Only Crek-Thar and a few of his officers had been taken alive for trial. Sir, we're detecting the stolen medical supplies floating in the debris, reported the sensor officer. Also several dozen prisoners in the base's lower levels. Send rescue teams immediately, Admiral Collins ordered. Get those people to safety. The rescue teams found 50 prisoners in the base's detention area. They were the people taken from the passenger ships that the pirates had attacked. They were weak and scared, but alive. Dr. Wells and her medical teams treated their injuries and gave them food and water. Among the prisoners was a young human girl named Lucy Martinez. She was only 8 years old and had been captured when the pirates attacked her family's transport ship. She had watched her parents die, just like the children on the hospital ship. Are the bad aliens gone? Lucy asked Dr. Wells. Yes, sweetheart, Dr. Wells said gently. They're gone. They can never hurt anyone again. The task force gathered the evidence of the pirate base. They found warehouses full of stolen goods, including medical supplies from the HMS Sanctuary. They found records of all the ships the pirates had attacked, all the people they had killed, but most importantly, they found Crek-Thar's personal trophy room. The pirate leader had kept souvenirs from all his victims. Among them were items from the hospital ship, Dr. Hamilton's medical badge, Captain Morrison's command insignia, and toys T.H.